YouTube family. It's your boy Dwight. Welcome back to the channel, Silverback Sillage. Hope all is well with everybody. First off, do me a huge favor. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And punch that bell icon so you can be notified when I post new content. Now, today's video is an extra special video. Mr. Kevin Holt over at SCENTual Obsessions was so kind to send me a nice care package that I could get a chance to get my nose on and give my 2 cents on. And some very intriguing fragrances, scent profiles are listed within. Keep it locked. Well, let's get down to business. Like I stated before, today's a special video sponsored by SCENTual Obsessions. Let's get right down to it. First one, and this one is called Double Take 4.5, and it's inspired by the fragrance Reflection 45 by Amouage. Let's give it a spray. Gotta get my test strips out because I got a lot of fragrances to go through here. There we go. Let that add a little bit. Top notes of benzoin, clary sage, pink pepper, cardamom, lavender, juniper berry. Heart notes of iris, neroli, angelica, jasmine, tonka bean, and vanilla. Base notes of cedarwood, frankincense, myrrh, apopanax, patchouli, sandalwood, and vetiver. Now, with this one right here, I will say, spoiler alert for all of these, you get 8+ hours of longevity on all of these, which lets you know that Kevin uses some of the best fragrance oils that you could possibly use that allow each fragrance profile to have a longevity out of this world. You ain't got to worry about something not performing that I've experienced thus far. But what separates this one from the original Reflection Man, from what I've smelled of it, the original Reflection Man is a little bit fresher. This one's been made to be quite a bit darker, spicier with the frankincense and the apopanax and the myrrh in here. A little bit more powdery too, with the mixture of the iris, tonka bean, and vanilla mix in that mid. Very, very intriguing the scent profile. And this is one, just smelling this, being inspired by that like that, or borderline a clone, actually makes me want to get the real thing so I can check it out, see if the longevity can compete with the one that's inspired by with it, or would I like it actually better than the original Reflection Man. Awesome scent profile though. I would definitely have to say that. Next one. It is called Sensual Spice, and it is inspired by Fragrance Du Bois London Spice. A couple of good sprays there. It's really nice. Top notes of spearmint, bergamot, lemon. Heart notes of jasmine, white blossoms, lavender, marine notes. Base notes of cardamom, nutmeg, patchouli, and cedarwood. But what I get that reigns supreme in this fragrance right here is the spearmint and the lemon in the top. And that spearmint, well, I will say, throughout the lifetime of the fragrance, goes through the opening and the mid, and then it begins to subside once you get to the base notes. Base notes are basically woody and spicy with the nutmeg and the cedarwood. But this is a very, very mysterious scent profile. Just a tad. It's not crazy mysterious. I have one within the lineup that I'm going to introduce you guys to that's a little bit more mysterious and a little bit more interesting. But I've heard so much about this fragrance, so this one definitely intrigues me to try the real thing. But I will say this is one of those ones that you want to get in rotation right now, whether you either have the real thing or if you have SCENTual Obsessions version being this Sensual Spice. Cuts through the cold really, really well in my test runs on my hand and stuff like that. Awesome scent profile. Next one. This one is Straight to Paradise Extreme, which is basically inspired by fragrance of Killian's Straight to Heaven Extreme, which is discontinued. So I thought I should definitely check this one out and get my nose on it, because I never got a chance to smell Straight to Heaven Extreme before they discontinued it. A couple of good sprays for that one. Top notes: rum absolute, patchouli, bourbon vanilla absolute, cedarwood, amber, and nutmeg. And those are actually all the notes. That's how they got it listed. Now, what I get with this one, extremely boozy, like popping type booze. But those vanilla nuances intertwine with the booze really, really well. This one's very, very entertaining, very long lasting. But it's a versatile type of boozy scent. It's not one of those ones that you can only wear fall and winter time. You can wear this one in the spring and cooler summer nights. This one is a very, very versatile boozy scent. You can wear it all year round, for sure. But to me, it would come to the forefront best on date night and outings with your lady. Awesome scent profile. Next one is called Florida Night. Now this one is directly inspired by Burlington 19 by Roja. And I'm pretty familiar with that scent profile from testing it in stores when I'm shopping out of town. See how close they got with this one. Now this one here, the whole body of notes, because you know Roja has a slew of notes. You got grapefruit, bitter orange, ginger, lime, mint, musk, benzoin, cashmere wood, cedar wood, cumin, labdanum, mandarin orange, oak moss, patchouli, tobacco, vanilla, ambergris, cinnamon, rum, and saffron. But what I get, for the most part, you do get that lime. Out of all those fruits, the lime comes to the forefront for sure. Little spiciness from the ginger and some like citrus grindiness from the grapefruit. But as this one dries down, that rum does kick in a little stronger, and the ambergris with a small hint of vanilla. The saffron's pretty prevalent too. But I will say for this one here, this one does better justice on skin than it does on paper, for sure. Next one is called Rockstar, and it is directly inspired by Xerjoff's Tony Iommi collaboration with called Monkey Special Blend, which I would have to say I'm not the biggest fan of Xerjoff calling it Monkey Special, but that's a whole nother conversation for another video. Top notes: passion fruit, rum, Bulgarian geranium, which is new for me on that one, Calabrian bergamot, heart notes of leather, patchouli, and cinnamon, base notes of Australian sandalwood, caramel, ambergris, labdanum, musk, tonka bean, and vanilla. I've smelled it one other time, the sample of the real thing, and this thing is dangerously close. Now this one here, Rockstar, I would have to say gave me 10 hours of consistent, strong longevity and performance. It's crazy close to the original, for sure. So not only do I want to get me a bottle of the Tony Iommi, I want me a bigger bottle beside my sample that I got here of this Rockstar from SCENTual Obsessions. Because it's an awesome, and I mean awesome, scent profile. But with the SCENTual Obsessions version, I will say it may not be quite as boozy, but it's right there. But the tonka bean and vanilla in this composition kind of pops out a little bit more than the Tony Iommi version, because they're seen to have the caramel pop a little heavier and some of the cinnamon and leather. But other than that, they are neck and neck as far as scent profile. That's awesome. Awesome. And another fragrance that I would say get your nose on right now so you can be using it when it gets cold. Or here in Kansas City, it's already cold. Next one. This one is called Royalty. And it's directly inspired by Bordeaux Victorious's Blue Sapphire, which is, might I add, a $900 fragrance that I don't know if I'll ever have in my collection. Unless they send it to me. Top notes of lemon and orange. Heart notes of rose, jasminium, which that's a new one for me, and cardamom. Base notes of oud, patchouli, and amber. And like I said before, there was definitely a scent profile that's extremely mysterious and very, very intriguing out of everything that you're going to hear about in today's video, and it's this one right here, Royalty. Because, like I said before, the price tag of Bordeaux Victoria's Blue Sapphire is at that $900 price point, which is crazy for a bottle of fragrance or scented oil in water, if you will. But I will say I've heard nothing but good things about the Blue Sapphire, and this one here, if it smells anything like this, I don't know. It may make me save my crumbs in my piggy bank for a long time so I can get me one. This one right here is definitely bottle worthy. Out of all of these, which every one of these, in my humble opinion, are bottle worthy, but this will be one of the first ones from SCENTual Obsessions out of these samples that I would be wanting to get my nose on, and not only get my nose on it and keep it, give me a bottle. Very, very intriguing scent profile. Nobody that you know will be smelling like that. Next one is called Grand Slam, and it's it's directly inspired by Xerjoff's Torino 21, a summertime staple. Because I've smelled that one, and I plan on getting me a bottle of that one from Xerjoff for sure. This one here, top notes of mint, lemon, basil, and thyme. Heart notes of jasmine, rosemary, blackcurrant, and lavender. Base notes of musk and vervain, which don't know what that is. But what I get with this one here, you get a mint blast in the opening, mixed in with the lemon, so it's extremely citrus heavy. And then as those begin to fade away, that basil comes into the picture, which gives you more of a, can't say a gourmand, but maybe more of a leafy green nuance to it. And as it dries down, the musk takes the forefront. Summertime staple, whether it be the Xerjoff version or the SCENTual Obsession version, both of those will be in heavy rotation next year when it gets warm outside, because I want to have a bottle of both. I got my 15 mil right here, which he sent me 6 of the samples sizes, and I'm not mistaken, I think these are 2 mil samples. He sent me a 15 mil sample and a 30 mil of the last one that I'm going to go over here. Awesome scent profile. Next one, and last but not least, this one's called King Andy. And it's a upgrade from the original Andy Warhol that I already did a video on this channel about. But the biggest difference between this one and that original Andy Warhol formulation is this one, I'm led to believe, is a little bit more fruity. I haven't got a chance to spend a whole lot of time with this one yet because it wasn't quite cold here in Kansas City yet, but it is there now. Top notes of plum, bergamot zest, and cypress. Heart notes of patchouli, jasmine, rose, lavender, and oud. Base notes of musk, vanilla, frankincense, and sandalwood. It's hard to say which one's my favorite, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. But I will say the Andy Warhol, I believe, has that #1 spot, closely followed up by Royalty, which is that Bordeaux Victorious clone. This one here indeed is more fruity than that original formulation of Andy Warhol within the sample size that I actually have. That one seems to be a little bit more stronger with the oud presence and a little less fruity in that opening. This one has the plum and the bergamot zest coming to the forefront, but in my test sprays of it, as it begins to dry down, then that oud comes more to the forefront, the frankincense, and a little bit of the creamy sandalwood. But out of all of these right here, I will say King Andy is my favorite, then Royalty being second, and then there's probably a 3-way tie between Grand Slam and Rockstar, the Tony Iommi inspired fragrance. But out of all of these, I will definitely be able to tell y'all I plan to do business with SCENTual Obsessions more and more, because I will say the scent profiles that they go after, they tend to nail them. The oil concentration makes them have great longevity. Anything I've sprayed thus far from them gives me 7-8 hours or better. And then there's some topping that 10-hour mark. Quality at its finest. So I would definitely have to say Mr. Holt, with his fragrance compositions, he does an awesome job, and he shows a lot of love to fragrance content creators like myself. I appreciate everything he did, and that's my time. Peace.